From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 15th, 2024. The Israeli civilian killed yesterday in an anti-tank guided missile attack carried out by terror group Hezbollah in Lebanon at the northern Israeli community of Adamit was named today as 38-year-old Elad Fingerhut. According to the Times of Israel, Fingerhut arrived at the scene to help IDF soldiers who had been hurt by a Hezbollah missile attack before he himself was then hit by a second Hezbollah attack. An IDF soldier was killed yesterday in Gaza. The IDF said 19-year-old Sergeant Ira Yair Gispan was killed yesterday during fighting in the limited ground operation against Hamas terrorists in Rafah, the first casualty in the Rafah operation. And a defense ministry contractor who was injured in a rocket attack on the Rafah area on Monday died today from his injuries. The Times of Israel cited the defense ministry saying that 30-year-old Liron Yitzchak was carrying out work on behalf of a company contracted by Israel's defense ministry as part of assistance to IDF troops operating in Gaza. The attack also injured several IDF soldiers. The Times of Israel said that today Israeli troops raided a Hamas training camp in Rafah, eliminating several terrorists there. They also captured weapons and found mock IDF vehicles reportedly used by the terror group for training. The IDF said Israeli troops also operated in the Zaytun area of Gaza City, eliminated dozens of terrorists, destroyed terrorist infrastructure, and located many weapons, including machines to make rockets and rocket launchers. Rockets were fired from Gaza at southern Israel today. The IDF said a rocket fired at Sderot caused damage to a building, but there were no injuries. A rocket was also fired from the Rafah area at Kerem Shalom today, falling in an open area. There was no damage or casualties there. Rockets were also fired again today at northern Israel from Lebanon, the IDF responding, hitting terror targets of Hezbollah. And overnight last night, the IDF said it eliminated a senior field commander in Hezbollah, responsible for, the IDF said, various acts of terrorism against the Israeli home front. Also last night, the IDF said fighter jets of the Air Force intercepted 2 unmanned aerial vehicles that made their way to Israeli territory from the east. Turning now to some other news, a Holocaust memorial in Paris was vandalized overnight Monday. The memorial honors over 4,000 non-Jews who saved Jews during the Holocaust. Dozens of red handprints were spray painted on the Wall of the Righteous among the nations and in nearby areas discovered yesterday morning. French President Emmanuel Macron said degrading the Wall of the Righteous among the nations, the barrier of enlightenment against Nazism, is to undermine the memory of these heroes, as well as that of the victims of the Shoah. The Republic, he said, as always, will remain inflexible in the face of odious anti-Semitism. And closer to home, a kosher restaurant on New York City's Upper East Side was vandalized last night. The New York Post said that Rothschild Tel Aviv had its windows smashed in. The Post cited Chef Guy Kairi saying, "I want to live in peace, and I know my neighbors want to live in peace here. And these people that are promoting violence and hate, they are not getting us anywhere." Congregation Kehilat Jeshurun's Rabbi Chaim Steinmetz stopped by the restaurant today and posted a photo with Kairi encouraging support for the business, writing, "We will stand together and be stronger together." And last night in New York City, landmarks were lit up in blue and white to mark Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's 76th Independence Day, including City Hall. Mayor Eric Adams saying, as we honored the remarkable achievements of the State of Israel and the resilience of its people. Adams wrote, "I am reminded every day how important of an ally Israel has been to America." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, May the 15th at 7 o'clock. David Harris speaks with Moran, an IDF reservist who shares her powerful experiences after being mobilized on October the 7th and what followed. At 7:30, Abigail Pogrebin is joined by Rabbi David-Seth Kirshner to discuss his book that chronicles the first 50 days of the Israel-Hamas War. At 8 o'clock, Professor Assaf Zeevi and Katie, a senior at Columbia, discuss campus protests, antisemitism, the university's response, and a call for action with ISGAP leaders Charles Small and David Harris. At 9, Murray Greenfield is on L'chaim. At 10, my interview with Jonah Hauer-King, one of the stars of the new series, The Tattooist of Auschwitz. At 10:30, it's an encore of this newscast, and coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 15th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.